Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts, and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, let's take a look again on the Bitcoin market. So now we need to update our view. In general, the stuff that we have discussed in last week, since the beginning of the week, mostly stands valid, because Bitcoin shows very poor reaction on major events that were standing on the market previous week. So I mean, first of all, on non-farm payrolls. While other cryptocurrencies, especially the Ethereum, shows nice performance and use the weakness in the United States dollar to move higher, on the Bitcoin we do not see this process. It means two things. First of all, in the cross-market analysis, it promises nothing good to the bullish performance, just because when you see the starting divergence between the major cryptocurrencies, this is always the warning sign. And it increases chances, at least for a deeper retracement or some downside reaction. This is mostly the same as within the stock market. You usually watch for major stock market indexes, they should move together. And once you start to see the divergence between the United States and Europe, or in the Japan, or among even the United States indexes in the NASDAQ, Dow, or S&P, that usually leads to collapse. The same story stands on the cryptocurrency. Especially this is important on the longer term charts as a weekly chart currently. So, but this weakness on the Bitcoin, it makes no impact on our scenario that we now are watching for on the intraday charts, on the daily chart as well. So first of all, on the weekly chart, as you remember, we're watching for a bearish reversal pattern. So it should be double repo sell. And from the perspective of this pattern, at least by the rules of this pattern that's specified by the chart monopoly, the pattern suggests the moving slightly high and closing above this green line, which is the 3x3 moving average. Once market will close above it, then we expect starting of the downward action. First, it should be closed below the 3x3 again, and then further downside acceleration. Currently, as market was not able to close above the 3x3 in last week, despite the weakness in the United States dollar, it means that we can't exclude the direct downside continuation. It means that maybe we will not get the pattern here, but other things mostly stands the same. With the collapse back to the 42 areas, conference support in the monthly, that should be attractive moment and sweet area for considering taking the long position. From the one point of view, this is what about the bullish context. For the bearish context, it means that we could start searching bearish moments right here if you intend to trade it to the downside. So maybe some signs of the reversal might happen right now. Although on the currently, for truth's sake, we need to say that despite that we do not see any rally, this bullish engulfing pattern that has been formed recently is still valid, and minor retracement back in the body of this pattern, return right back up. It's absolutely normal, classic type of the behavior. So it still means that we still could get upward action. But I'm talking all this stuff is just to prepare you for different ways, so you should not be frustrated if you will not see some action that we have specified. That's why we're considering any scenario that might happen around it. And whatever will happen with this upward action, we still think that downside retracement will be compounding. So it means it consists of a few swings. First one stands right here. From that level or from the high standing level, we expect that second swing or retracement has big chances to happen. That's our view on the Bitcoin in the long term. In the shorter term, take a look on the daily chart. Let's call it as a perfect scenario from the technical point of view, suggests appearing kind of the ABCD retracement up, which is actually the same that we discussed on the weekly chart based on the engulfing. And then at some point around 63, 63.50, retesting of this broken trend line, it suggests starting on the second leg of the retracement right back down to the 44 area approximately. So some kind of the A, B, C top D pattern. That's what we are watching right now. But here around the 618 resistance level, market shows some weakness. So it's an ability to pass through it, starting this downside action, something of that sort. It means that we can't totally exclude the chance that this direct downside reversal could happen earlier. Not from the 63, but somewhere from the 58 area as well. We need to be prepared for that. Actually, it absolutely doesn't matter for those who would like to buy Bitcoin, because they anyway do not want to trade it on the short side. And for bulls, it's even better if downside action will start earlier, as it could provide better entry levels later, somewhere from the 42 area. But for those who trade Bitcoin on intraday charts and watching for taking the short position, maybe that might be very important. So on the 4-hour time frame chart, actually I have tried to draw both scenarios together that we could get, and here's approximately how it could look like. As you understand, overall construction mostly stands the same, and the major difference is just from what point the downward action starts. Currently, at this moment, this market shows some acceleration down, showing early downside reversal, because take a look at this flag pattern. This market is coming from the bottom to the top, and again from the bottom to the top. But on this way up, market wasn't able to proceed high and hit the upper border of the pattern, turning earlier to the downside. This is classical signs of weakness. And once market will start dropping and breaking this trend line, it will be a clear sign that downside action is starting, and starting right now. If this will be truth, we should calculate downside swing not from that point, our theoretical moment where it could turn down, but from that moment. And in this case, we will get target lower around 42 area. That's also good because on the weekly chart you could see that it perfectly fits to 42, 43, 80 conference support area. So that will be a very good point for taking the position. Alternatively, if somehow by some news Bitcoin still turn up and starts to complete this ABCD pattern, in this case our previous view will be intact, and we're still will be watching for 63 area where it could be downside reversal. In this case, upper target will be, the downside target will be slightly higher, around 45 area. So, but in general, this is minor detail and not makes impact any impact on our basic major scenario. Appearing of the divergence with the MACD here, guys, it's also mostly advantage for the bears. Some points in favor of the bears that here we will get the direct downside breakout. So that's what we have currently on the Bitcoin market. Besides this overall construction here, you could draw as a flag initially, but in fact this is some kind of the bearish wedge pattern, and wedge usually is a bearish continuation pattern as market shows the weakness to proceed higher, because it's forming tops slower than the bottoms, and it means that the bullish power is housing gradually. So I'm not excluded that we will get the breakout very soon, mostly because of really weak performance of the market on Friday, where other dollar rivals have shown really great action. Euro currency, gold market, Ethereum. So all assets have used this weakness in the dollar to show the good rally. Bitcoin is an exception. And this weakness suggests the existence of some bearish sentiment on the market currently that increased chance of the direct downside action.